Oh my god, guys, it's Daytona Day. I don't know why I said it in that pansy voice. That was like half on purpose. It's Daytona. Not just any Daytona, it's the Daytona. The Daytona 500. And we're going to watch it. Good God, look at to the rear. Brad Keselowski, Chase Briscoe, Cat Scralla, William Byron, Anthony Alfredo, Cole Custer, Ross Chastain, Martin Truex Jr., Eric Jones, Bubba Wallace. I think Bubba goes to the rear. Did he fail inspection twice? Hey, that's how you know that car's good, okay? Hey, Robert. Robert, don't be nervous. Don't be nervous until stage 3. Worry about just riding around and getting through these first 2 stages and get to stage 3. That was always my deal. I was like, let's just ride and then go race in stage 3. Hey, Lori. Hey, Robert. Hey, Janet. Hey, Jeff. Hey, Michael. Michael's probably got my bets in and everything. He said he'd give me 2 today, so I said give me William Byron and Bubba Wallace. William Byron's backup car is actually the car he won Daytona with last summer. So I was all worried that Byron's primary car getting wrecked. Oh, damn, that was such a good-looking car in the dual race, but his backup car is the one that won here last summer. Yeah, happy Valentine's Day for anybody who cares about Singles Awareness Day. Oh, my God, I'm hungry. But, hey, I'm well-rested. I slept great last night. I'm actually really well-rested, and I'm off work tomorrow. So today it's just fucking great. It's Daytona 500. I'm off work tomorrow. I'm not falling asleep in my chair during commercial or under caution when there's nothing going on. I'm ready. I'm ready to watch a race. You get 2 former Daytona winners in the 10th spot. There's Kevin James. They're doing the starting lineup right now. I like how they said this shit's going to start at 2:30. It's 2:39 and we haven't even had the prayer and the anthem yet. Kyle Larson's back. Ryan Blaney, handsome son of a bitch. Chase Elliott, great mustache. Chase Elliott needs some damn luck in the Daytona 500 for once. Ryan Preece dodged every wreck imaginable here a couple years ago. Joe Logano and his receding hairline will start 10th. Kyle Busch and his disturbing lack of chin, 9th place. Oh no, now I'm going to let me just go ahead and mute that since they're playing licensed music. They're playing a song I sing a lot when I'm trolling people on video games online. Eric Almirola and Austin Dillon on road 2. Poor William Byron. Got to go to the back, but he's got a good car. You know, that's really smart. Most teams usually like to bring a new car to Daytona. So if your car from the previous year ran well and you still have it, it makes a great backup car, and that's the situation William Byron's in. They brought a new car here, but the backup was the Daytona summer race from last year. Now let's get on with this. They're going to sit around and wait, and then a rain shower is going to pop up. By the way, the weather looks good. It's like there might be a pop-up shower, and the entire time we're sitting here, I'm just waiting for it to start raining because they're not starting this fucking race yet. Okay, now that's actually funny.
Okay. How about that? You look like Matthew McConaughey in that Super Bowl commercial where you're that flexible. Who are we coming up to?
We're going to sit around and wait all day for it to start raining.
How you doing? Amigo, well, you texted me last night. I thought you were going to be here. Where are you? I am over here with Chris Myers in the Hollywood
It's the socially distanced grid walk.
I can't wait to watch you drive that number 99.
Yeah, the sun's been out at times throughout the day watching this pre-race, so it's looking good. Need to hurry up and get on with this, though, while our luck is good.
There you go. That's safe. I got like you can see it, but
Listen to Chris Myers. Chris Myers is so stressed out that he has to be back in proximity with Michael Waltrip. I wish Michael was still reaching out and touching him every time he spoke like he used to.
We're going to hear from Pitbull, too, in just a bit.
You guys ever seen that YouTube video of Chris Myers getting visibly annoyed when Michael Waltrip keeps reaching out and touching him every time he talks?
He's done well
Michael's a toucher. This pandemic's probably a nightmare for him.
As close as you've been, buddy.
Talking to you, but not talking to you, and you look taller on your board. But
He looks taller, if you can believe it.
you know, we've come close to a couple times.
Michael was so tall, he routinely had trouble getting in and out of his race cars until the COT came along.
Remarks, and maybe you should do that to your real hair. It might help you out a little bit.
I put those sharp remarks there, but I'm going to be moving on. Thanks for chatting and have fun today.
All right, in a Ford, Ryan Blaney finished twice at the Daytona.
Talk to Kyle Larson. Talk to my dude Larson. You're going to skip Larson and go right to Chase Elliott.
Chase Elliott, the 9-car.
Hey, there's Chase.
They said, hey, Larson, can you hear me?
How you doing, bud? You ready to go racing?
That's the best version of you I think I've ever seen. I love
They
it.
like the distance. They social distancing.
You sound like Buffy. I was really one-dimensional, she said.
It's beautiful, man. That's awesome.
Well, I want
Thanks
to
for
be.
being here.
I want to tell you congratulations on being champion. I can't wait to watch you try to win this Daytona 500. Good luck.
I just want to watch Chase Elliott finish a damn Daytona 500 sometime.
We have only 5 Toyotas, a lot of Fords and Chevys. Get your thoughts when we come back before we start the race on if there's a
Race starts at 2:30, guys. What time is it?
has an advantage in this race. Ford, Chevy, Michael Waltrip, his thoughts before we send it up to the guys to call the race. And there he is, fitter than ever. You're watching NASCAR on Fox Live from Daytona.
Last minute predictions. I have none, really. Y'all know what I think. You've been hearing me talk all week. Now, because they're taking so long to start the damn race, I feel compelled to check the hourly weather forecast again. So, let me get right on that. Daytona Beach weather while we walk around on pit road and not start this damn race. Hourly. Yeah, 50-50. You know, 35 to 50% chance of a passing storm. Yeah. Hopefully the luck will be on our side today. I don't want to rain short in Daytona 500. Especially if, like, some asswipe's lead. Especially if they're, like, trained against the outside wall single file and some asshole like Joe Logano's leading and then it starts raining and they're like, oh, well, I guess we got to go home. Joe Logano wins. That's the doomsday scenario. Ozzy, why are you sleeping right in the middle of the floor where I have to walk? He does that on purpose. He knows he's going to get attention if he lays right there in the middle of this floor because I have to walk by him. Hey, buddy. It is cold and rainy in North Carolina where I'm at. If it's going to be this cold and wet, I wish it would snow. But it's not going to snow. It's just going to rain and maybe freezing rain. Either way, at least I'm off work tomorrow. According to what I was told earlier. So, they've already told me, yeah, I'm probably off work. So, there's no going back on it now. You can't text me here in a few hours and go, hey, you want to work tomorrow? I'll just ignore the text and just ghost them till Tuesday.
Aerial coverage provided by
Good. Remember how yesterday I said I missed Chris Myers at the racetrack? It feels right having Myers back for at least one day. That looks like more than 30,000 people, doesn't it?
For a couple of reasons. The way Eric Almirola ran in the duel, the way Ryan Blaney's been so close lately, but Brad Keselowski's talk. He's so positive about this opportunity.
We're going to take you through the entire race right now. Let's head trackside.
Yay!
Ceremony.
Actual opening ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise and remove your hats as the Clay High School Junior ROTC Color Guard presents our nation's colors.
I don't see a lot of masks in that crowd, just worth pointing out.
Please remain standing as Chaplain Julian Johnson.
Can you believe Denny Hamlin got Bubba a ride after the shit he talked about him a couple years ago? I just remember that in the pre-race when they were showing highlights from the 2018 500.
Thank you so much for this beautiful day. We thank you so much for every healthcare worker and every military person stationed around the world. I pray that you would bless every
I pray that you
driver,
keep your shitty
every
Florida
team,
weather stable and we
and
get this
every
race in.
sponsor. I pray that you would bless all the grieving families and give us a reason to smile today. More than that, I ask that you would give
I wish
for
Denny would
today
keep that paint
and bright
scheme.
hope for tomorrow. This
That is so
my
much better
prayer
than the shit he
in your
usually drives.
sovereign name. Amen. Here to perform the national anthem, please welcome from the United States Air Force Base.
They couldn't get William Byron a more colorful fire suit to match that car.
Sam Allen.
You know, the last time Jeff Gordon drove the rainbow car, he had a plain blue fire suit like that. I'm like, that's lame. Get him the rainbow suit back. I'm sitting on my ass during this national anthem. Sue me. Everybody stand or I'll ban you. But I get to sit down. What the fuck is a rampart anyway? Let's find out. We have Google. Rampart. I think I've done this before. No, what's a rampart? A protective barrier. A broad embankment raised as fortification and usually surrounded by... Okay, so the turns at Daytona could serve as a rampart. Yeah, the more you know. Here they go off into rampart number 1. That's how we're going to call the race. God bless America. You know, this pre-race is a lot more tolerable this year than it was last year. I wonder why. Okay. Let's see if my TV remote will last today. I keep having to pop a battery out of my TV remote and pop it back in to get it to work again. And we're out of AAA batteries. So, I don't even think I have anything I could steal AAAs out. I'm sure I'd find something in the house. It's been doing this for weeks. These damn batteries would have died by now. I keep wanting to test it because I have OCD. Because I keep waiting for it to cut off. I keep pressing the volume button over and over to make sure it's still working. I haven't even played any NASCAR Heat this week. I've been watching... I fell asleep listening to like a playlist of Dale Jr. download videos on YouTube last night. I turned that on at like... I think I went to bed at 3 in the morning. 3 or 3:30. I turned on the Dale Jr. download playlist on YouTube and turned my monitor off and just sat there and listened to it and fell asleep. Woke up at like 11:30. So I got some solid sleep. Much needed. I feel better today than I have in over a week. I will be eating at some point during the stream. I apologize in advance. I don't even think anybody can really tell. I just talk a little less whenever I'm eating my food. It's not like I'm all over the mic going or anything like that. But I worry about that for some reason. Ozzy, what are you doing? He's like, Daddy, open the door. I can't open it. You're the one who come in here, dude. You in here until I go get my food here in about a half hour or so. We really got to start these races. Oh, I looked last night at the schedule. You know how I'm going to Darlington in May. I've got the tickets. I'm going to Darlington and I looked at the start time for the race. 3:30. Are you fucking kidding me, Fox? And it's not NASCAR, it's Fox. What? Darlington has to start at 3:30. We can't start the race at like 1 or 2 in the afternoon. It's fucking late start times. And I remember I said when I bought the tickets, I'm like, great, I'm going to Darlington. I'll probably start at like 2 or 2:30. No, 3:30, which means like 3:45 actually. Stupid. But at least it doesn't start at 6, and at least it's not a 600-mile race on a mile and a half, so it's different for me. Wonder if we'll have anything like the crowds we've had in here the last couple of days. Probably not, because the race is on normal Fox, and everybody can watch regular Fox. Oh, I smell that food. I've got my door shut, and I can still smell food from the kitchen.
A quick reminder, you can win money during this This is Daytona 500 on the free-to-play Fox Bet Super 6 app. There are
Fox ought to be ashamed of themselves taking Terry Bradshaw's money into NASCAR season.
win some of Clint Boyer's money. He's got a lot of it. Down
No, it's Terry's money.
Make your picks and good luck. Michael, you
Welcome aboard.
I know you're a little short on cash. That's why you went from your cardboard grid wall.
Man, I wish I got paid to sit up there and just chill and watch the fucking Daytona 500.
We heard from the drivers, Michael. How about the strategy in this 500-mile race?
Just think, if this race started at 1 o'clock like it should, it hasn't rained all day, and we could be like almost towards the end of the race. Just a thought.
When the checker flags are going to fall. I won this race in 03, and when I did, it was rain shortened. We had the fastest car, and we fought every inch.
Michael, you did not have the fastest car. Dale Jr. was the fastest car that day. Michael's a liar. Junior had the fastest car, and you wrecked him.
Safe places to be in this field right now, Chris, and it's right up front or way in the back. If I'm Bubba, I'm not going to sweat this. But again, with weather pending, you got to hustle.
All right, well, Pitbull is a NASCAR fan. He's part car owner. You know him as a rapper. He's been in movies. He's the Grand Marshal for today. But right now, he's excited like we are, anticipating the race. Let's check in with him. He's just kind of warming up.
Oh, goody, Pitbull. Just what I want to see when I turn on a NASCAR race. Hey, there's Justin Marks. Won that awesome race at Mid-Ohio a few years ago.
You know what? I like it, but I think you should do something more like.
The Boomers are really upset now. We got Suarez getting TV time. Bubba was getting TV time. The Boomers don't know what to do. They've already turned off, haven't they?
You know what? Let's pray. I'm the type of person that lives in the moment, and the moment is right now.
Team co-owner and Grammy Award-winning global superstar Pitbull.
We've sat around all day waiting for it to rain when this race could have started at 1 o'clock.
Drivers, start your engines. Let's go. Yeah!
Why is Kurt Busch's face always so red? Kurt Busch always has the reddest face in NASCAR. You can always see it in his helmet. Race hasn't even started, and Kurt Busch is bright fucking red.
And let's head upstairs. 20 years of NASCAR on Fox NASCAR, the Daytona 500 is always a great way to start the season. Most important day and important race. So the guy to take us through it, as he has for the last 2 decades, with a couple of interesting guys by his side. Mike Joy. Mike, take it away.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, Bubba's car failed pre-race twice.
That was fantastic.
That was the longest pre-race show ever. Not necessarily the best.
Fox, I stood here with a mixture of excitement for the new season and trepidation. I had new booth partners, Darrell Waltrip and Larry McReynolds. I didn't get much sleep last night either. I've got a known quantity in Jeff Gordon, who's won the 500 3 times and is a member of the NASCAR Hall of Fame. And then Clint Boyer has 2 top 5s in the Great American Race. And how about 2010 in the backstretch?
Oh, cute. He's got 2 top 5s in the race.
Jamie Mack.
Let me tell you something. That can happen so fast. So many times I thought I was in the right spot at the right time.
Yeah, he was in second until Dale Jr. came barreling through and passed like 4 cars on one straightaway.
To weather the storm in a 500-mile race and get to the end. I never got it done, but Jeff, how many times you get it done? Tell us. Go ahead and tell everybody how many times.
I don't need to, but I can tell you what these race car drivers are thinking about. And it's, you think going into the biggest race of the year, it's just one thing: drive. It is so much more than that.
Janet, are you guys watching the race?
Which lane you're going to choose, how you're going to listen to that individual in your ear, or your spotters telling you inside, outside, they're coming, big run. You got to get ready for green flag pit stops. Here, as we go on board the visor camera, you can just see there's vibrations. There's lanes that are opening up. You've got moves happening all around you at all times. It takes so much concentration to be able to win the Daytona 500. Difficult task.
Check Twitter and see if David Land's made a noon tweet yet.
We're ready for rush hour at Daytona at nearly 200 miles per hour. Right here on Fox.
Oh my God, my remote's still working. Oh, what a surprise. Jeff Gluck, skies are darkening. Storms have started popping up across Central Florida. Hopefully they can start this race. And as he says at the end of the tweet, lost a lot of good weather time waiting for the TV broadcast. Yeah, we sat around all day with good weather waiting for it to start raining. It's as if late afternoon in Florida, storms tend to pop up more frequently than earlier in the day. Yeah, guys, who'd have thought late afternoon storms are more frequent in Florida? Did anybody cringe really hard during the pre-race when they tried to rip off... Hey, Michael. They tried to rip off the ESPN Monday Night Football segment. You know, come on, man. They were ripping that off on the pre-race show. And God, I just got up and left the room. That was one of those things that was so fucking lame and cringy, I just had to leave the room. Showers and thunderstorms to the west of the speedway. Gonna be dealing with this threat through the day. Because we had to wait around till 3 o'clock to start the race. Like, I just want to go to Fox Sports and grab them and be like, you guys are fucking stupid. Like, it makes me really angry. They've had all goddamn day of good weather. But no, we have to start the races late because West Coast people on the West Coast don't watch NASCAR. They don't. When have you ever seen a West Coast market being like the top half of like ratings demographics for NASCAR? It's always like North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida. But we gotta wait for the West Coast people to get up. So they can't set a fucking alarm clock for 11 a.m. or 10 a.m. Bubba and Byron win me $16. Well.
Ryan Newman, who had that harrowing crash, is in this race today.
3 hours of good weather. And we've sat around watching pre-race coverage all day.
Fox NASCAR brings you the Daytona 500.
We take one more last look at the hourly forecast so I can get really pissed off when it doesn't look good.
So let's have a look at the to-be starting grid. Meet the 40 drivers.
It's 50-50. But earlier in the day, it was like really good.
William Byron will go to the rear in the backup car. Austin Dillon won in 18. He starts right next to the driver. He spun out on the last lap to win it.
Those artist renderings of the drivers are so hit and miss.
And two former Daytona 500 winners, Ryan Newman in 2008 and Kevin Harvick the year before.
And row 5, Joey Logano, and beside him, Kyle Busch, 57.
There's no fucking reason this race couldn't have started at least at 1 o'clock.
6, Ryan Preece, Chase Elliott, defending 2020 champion, never won the Daytona 500 yet. And row 7, Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney alongside him, two-time runner-up in the 500. Row 8, Daniel Suarez.
Daniel Suarez. I literally don't know if that 99 car is going to be good this year or not. I'm confident the 23 will be pretty good, but I don't know if that 99 car for Suarez is going to contend outside of the super speedway races. Got Harvick and Brad and Elliott. Nice. Brad's won everything but the 500. He's one of those guys now. He's become Tony Stewart. Boyer can't say Matt DiBenedetto's name. He called him Matt Benedetto. Martin Truex Jr.'s artist rendering. He looks really proud. Cole Custer looks like the penguin. I'm sneezing because I'm allergic to the bullshit of this race starting after 3 o'clock instead of at 1.
Cody Ware makes his second Daytona 500, and the youngest driver in the field, 21-year-old Anthony Alfredo.
I still think somebody should put money on David Reagan. Last minute bookie here, I'm telling you, put $1 on David Reagan. Put $1 on David Reagan. He's 100 to 1.
Drivers who were added to the field based on qualifying time. The Xfinity champ Austin Cindric, who won yesterday, and
Old Cindric going for the weekend sweep.
We dial up Denny Hamlin. Hey, Denny, this is Jeff and Clint, Mike up at the Fox Sports booth. How about you?
I got you.
Well, man, all the talk about 3 in a row. All the talk about
If the full distance of the race doesn't get in at this point, I'm going to be highly upset.
You to just get in the car and get back to business.
Definitely ready to go to work. You know, it is my first passion as being a driver, and you know, the opportunity today to
It's got to be awkward for Denny. What if at the end of the race he's got to pass Bubba to win it?
top of my priority list. So hopefully things work
You know,
out.
like that could happen anywhere, but in this particular race, it's much more likely to happen that he's going to have to beat his own car to win the race.
All right, Denny, it's Boyer's turn. Man, you got to wake up, bud. You're coming to green here. This is the Daytona 500, the big one. Your chance to go 3 in a row in such a prestigious race. How are you going to do that? How do you find yourself in that top 5 in the running at the end of these things, and what's your plan to do that?
You know, I think I just gotta trust my instincts. You know, not second guess whatever move it is that I'm gonna make. I don't know whether it's gonna be to be aggressive in the beginning or if it's gonna be lay back. But ultimately, I'm gonna feel the temperature of the field, see what moves they're making, and
Looking awfully dark behind the front stretch grandstands right now, isn't it?
Got a long time to get there.
All right, buddy. Good luck. Quest for history, bud. We'll be watching.
10-4.
Let's take a look at the newest Toyota team on track today.
Put 50 cents on Reagan. See, I would have even done something like that. Denny would never wreck his own car to win, but I bet Bubba would wreck him to win. I bet you.
500 winner, Denny Hamlin, with Bubba Wallace as the sole driver. Focused on inclusion and diversity within the NASCAR community, Wallace is regarded for his work on and off the track.
Time to piss off the boomers one last time before the race starts.
2311 Racing reestablishes Wallace to familiar territory and a place where he knows how to win. From an empty shop to building the first number 23 Camry, this team is ready to make their official debut for this year's Daytona 500.
I hope because they're a new team, they come out of here with the car in one piece at the very least. But I feel like Bubba's checkers are wreckers. He's either going to win the race or he's going to wreck out in spectacular fashion. David Land said it on YouTube last night. I agreed. I was thinking the same thing.
Had a good bit of sunshine, and now the clouds are coming.
Yeah, I mean, Mike, teams prepare for this race for months before they ever get here. And normally when you get here, you get a ton of practice. These drivers have less than 1
Larry
hour
McReynolds
of
is here to tell you
practice
about when we
all
practice
week
race
long.
practice,
I get
but
the feeling
didn't
there's a
practice
lot of
race practice.
excitement
Remember when he said that
about
shit?
what they have. And Mike, I get
He
the
was like,
feeling
practice
those
race
who
practice,
go
which
to the
didn't
finish line,
practice
they won't
race
talk about
practice.
How fast their race car was. They'll talk about how good it drove.
All right, let's get down to pit road. For late
Coming to the
race.
green.
Well, Mike, at 45 years old, Kevin Harvick is as competitive as ever, and he's ready to win this race for the second time. They brought a brand new race car, and they say it's the best and the fastest car they've ever had. Vince Welch.
Well, Brad Keselowski will start this race in a backup car at the rear of the field, but he said it doesn't matter. The backup is as good as the primary. Keselowski has won 34 times and a championship. He's won all the big ones.
You would think after 2 years in a row of dealing with weather threatening, they'd try to start this goddamn race earlier.
He wants it today. Regan Smith.
Bob Bush is 0 for 15 in the Daytona 500, but the two-time champion and 57-time race winner feels very good about how his car is handled for today. He's going to check that last box later this afternoon is what he feels like.
Hopefully, if we just ignore the weather and get caught up in the race, it'll all go away. At the start of the race, or before the start of the race, all I can do is look for bad weather. Oh my lord, there's Sasha Banks. Why are you making her wear a mask? She's too pretty.
Green flag to start this Daytona 500.
Sasha Banks is awesome. So now that the race is starting, I won't even think about weather. But before, it's all I can think about.
Corvette pace car makes the turn to pit road, and here.
Tell you what, after buying race tickets last night and seeing this, I'm so excited to get to Darlington in May.
63rd Daytona 500 is underway.
There are so many cars that had to go to the back that William Byron, who has to start in the back, looks like he's running about 20th. That's how many cars had to drop to the back for backup cars, parts changes, and whatever else. William Byron looked like he was brushing the wall back there. There's Kevin Harvick. What a great pusher he is. We learned that in the dual race on Thursday. He just subbed Alex Bowman way out front. Wonder how Harvick's car runs as the leader. We don't know because we've only seen him push all week.
Up on the roof as Alex Bowman, the Daytona 500 pole sitter for the second time, leads lap 1.
Happy that Bowman got to keep his starting position. Harvick to the inside. No draft help, but he sees Eric Almirola about 3 car lengths back. So Bowman will maintain the lead for the moment. And now there's Harvick lined up with Almirola. That's why he went to the bottom. Boy, it was literally bright and sunny until about 15-20 minutes ago. Denny playing his classic strategy, literally running dead last. Bubba's mid-pack. Harvick leads that lap. So the 48 and the 4 have led laps. Oh snap, it's lap 3 again. Show Austin Dillon like he's Earnhardt or something.
And whose greatest legacy is not his 7 championships, not all those wins, but that NASCAR.
Harvick out front with Almirola now. The inside line's pulled ahead. Harvick, Almirola, Christopher Bell, and Ryan Newman, one of my 3 main picks. We've got money on Byron and Bubba, but if I had a third one, I'd have said Newman. Newman would have been my 3rd pick. He'll be a factor at the end of this. We have a caution. Let me guess. Oh, Derek Cope has pounded the outside wall. I never want to hear about the 1990 Daytona 500 ever again. Oh, that's ironic. Derek Cope just had a cut tire on the 3rd lap. Oh my God, the irony just hit me like a ton of bricks. On lap 3 in turn 3, Derek Cope blows a tire. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, the irony. Tell me that's not the funniest thing you've ever seen. That's karma. The karma finally caught up to Derek Cope.
This was scheduled to be Cope's final race. He had not raced a Cup car in the last.
The irony. That was like Earnhardt reaching down from the heavens and being like, fuck you, dude. Got to hear about your goddamn 1990 Daytona 500 every year.
I really don't see anybody coming to pit road here. You know, the first stage is 65 laps. The fuel window is somewhere around 35 laps. So really pitting here does nothing for you.
Under caution, let's take a look at today's race analysis, sponsored by Fox Nation. It takes 200 laps around this 2.5-mile tri-oval to go 500 miles, and the race will be run in 3 stages. The first 2 stages, 65 laps each. The final stage is 70 laps. Pit road speed will be 55 miles an hour. And Larry tells us the fuel window, you can go 34 to 38 laps on 1 tank of race.
Seriously though, Derek Cope. That happened on lap 3 as they honor Dale Earnhardt.
When you get strung out, this is a track that you can actually go part throttle. You can get in that draft, start easing out of the gas, saving fuel. So the strategy kind of plays a role in all of this.
No doubt about that. There's many ways. As a matter of fact, you got Denny Hamlin at the back.
Well, Jeff, there are many ways to skin a cat.
Being that far back.
Dude, as soon as the caution came out, I assumed it was for rain. I was like, oh shit, really? 4 laps is all we get? No, it was Derek Cope.
It's not too late to win Clint's money.
I see rain in the background.
Yes, it's Clint's money. That's what I like about
I definitely see rain near the track. Why'd they have to change the stage links? Because they can't fucking leave well enough alone, Robert.
And here are some of the questions. How many cars will be out of the race at the end of stage 2?
Well, I don't know if you saw the pre-race. Jet said about half of them. Cars. The biggest lower number of cautions, manufacturer, all there.
Get in your picks. Time.
Send in some questions to me. I'll help you try to get Clint's money.
Boys, I gotta sell something here. Download the Fox Bet Super 6 app for free and answer the 6 questions about stage 2 for your chance to win.
And while all that's going on, we got Kevin Harvick,
Under caution.
Eric Almirola, our top 2 cars, teammates at Stewart-Haas Racing.
Now the green light at the head end of pit road above the wall is on. So when it's green
Pit
light,
road's open, but is anybody going to pit? No, you don't pit here. It'd be a waste of time. You're not going to gain anything pitting here. Unless your car's just like out of control and you figured it out in that first 3.5 laps you got to run.
Top off.
And in case you're wondering, or if you've looked at the forecast, if we get to halfway, 100 laps. Anytime after that, if the race has to be called, it's official. 5 laps complete in the Daytona 500.
Well, let's see. If we'd started this race 3 hours ago, we'd be in the final stages of it. I'm going to say that every time they fucking mention weather. Seriously, though, is that not funny to anybody else for me? Derek Cope on lap 3, going off into turn 3, blows a tire as they honor Dale Earnhardt. Finally, the karma catches up. Yeah, that and Derek Cope really needed to be in this race, didn't he? Derek Cope really needed to be in this race while Ty Dillon's not. Yeah. He really needed to be a part of this. Oh, God, it's that fucking NASCAR sitcom that they're showing on Fox this year. It's going to be so bad. Like, I've got the commercial muted and I'm cringing. Because, number one, Kevin James is in it. I'm cringing sitting here looking at it. The Crew. Oh, it's on Netflix, not on Fox. Okay. Boy, they'll put a lot of shit on Netflix, won't they? That's proof they will literally put anything on Netflix. My leaderboard's not updating. I just realized it's got Bowman as the leader. I'm pretty sure Harvick was leading, right? And Byron damn sure ain't up front. So I gotta reset my damn leaderboard thingy. Let me just close NASCAR.com altogether and go back. That fixed it yesterday. As my computer makes the page jump up and down to try to make me click on something else. There we go. We got a proper leaderboard now because Harvick is the leader. Oh my God, I hate trying to get this thing just right. There. Harvick, Almirola, Bell, Newman, Bowman, the top 5. All Derek Cope did was slow down the race and help the rain get here faster. Nah, let's pray to Dale Earnhardt that he stops the rain.
Oh, no, look at the left rear of Bubba Wallace's car.
Bubba's got left rear damage.
Failure. He and Derek Cope got together on the racetrack. Cope ended up in the wall out of the race. Bubba in the pits making repairs, but he is back on track.
Well, wondered how
So it was Bubba that cut down Derek Cope's tire. Possessed by the spirit of Dale Earnhardt. We're going to restart on lap 8. Bubba's car looks fine. They just had to like pull out the dent in the left rear. The right side's more important than the left side.
Kevin Harvick's race crew for this season. Tweet your answer to each
I see them Fords there. You got Harvick, Almirola, Newman, and Logano.
I've been racing most of my life, but winning never gets old. If you joined my crew, how would you help me celebrate in Victory Lane?
I'm Kevin Harvick, and I'm really good at reading off a teleprompter.
You are ineligible, Boyer.
Hey, Boyer got to celebrate watching Harvick win a lot of races when he drove for Stewart-Haas.
6 laps completed. They're coming to complete 7, and they will do so under green.
All right.
Fords up front. Kevin Harvick
7 laps in.
Eric Almirola, Christopher Bell, Ryan Newman, Alex Bowman, Joey Logano, and we're back to green.
Derek Cope is a racist. I'm kidding. Get your conspiracy theories. Harvick swoops down to pick up Almirola, and Joey Logano pushing Ryan Newman to the lead. Newman's going to take the lead here, I think, off of 2. Or at least he's going to have a nose out front. And he does.
See Ryan Newman challenging the lead again at Daytona. Sick of the same thing, and look, Joey Logano is going to push him to be the sole leader right now.
Ryan Newman. Now jump down in front of Harvick and Almirola.
4 Fords up front, then Christopher Bell's Toyota, and Ryan Preece's Chevrolet, third on the outside.
You know, one of the things we've been talking about all week was Ford and where they were out on qualifying day. Cars just didn't show the speed that the Chevrolets did, and then all of a sudden we get to the draft and look what we have up front.
They just seem to not only have the speed, but have the stability to really get on one another's bumpers and push.
You definitely have to have speed down here. That's part of the equation, but that overall's got to handle.
As that track surface is aged, handling is starting to become sort of a factor at Daytona again. But these cars are so vacuum sealed to the ground, does it really matter that much? Now they've got that big spoiler on the back. A couple of years ago with that lower spoiler deal they ran here, you saw what handling was like for the Hendrick Motorsports cars. They wrecked by themselves every year for about 3 years in a row. Now that you pack downforce on these things, are glued to the racetrack. Hey, we've made it 10 laps without a weather delay. I'm still not optimistic.
Spotter communication is so important on this racetrack. They've been working on it. That's the hardest thing about coming down here and limited practice and things that we've had.
One rain delay will kill the ratings for this race. 4-car breakaway.
Chase Elliott pinned on the inside. That number 7, that's the new team Corey LaJoy drives for.
I don't want to say this, but I saw raindrops on an onboard camera.
Chase hasn't, did send the front row to some of his teammates. He didn't show a lot of spectacular speed in his duel, but I heard that he...
I don't worry about cars like Elliott, Hamlin, and those guys not showing speed throughout the week because I know they're worried more about race handling. Same thing with like Ryan Newman. Ryan Newman and Kevin Harvick are good examples of that. They're not going to show a lot of like raw speed. They're worried about getting their cars driving right.
How about that 3 in the middle?
They saw the high lane sort of got stacked up. Whoa.
Oh, what a surprise. Joe Logano threw a stupid block and nearly wrecked the field already.
Logano knew that run was coming.
And that's that communication we were talking about.
Nice move, Joey. It's very important to block for 15th, 10 laps into a race. Joey's 3 wide in the middle right now. I would love to see a big wreck if it takes him out. Ooh, Austin Dillon got squirrely going into 1. He had to peek out from behind Bowman in front of him.
Remember, he had to start this race at the rear of the field due to an engine change, so it didn't take him long to get to the top 10.
I can't stop coughing.
So those Chevrolets lined up in that outside lane. You got Ford, Toyota on the inside lane.
You see some pretty big pushes by that 3-car.
Depends on who's leading if we see the Daytona 250.
Really, really fast. It's pushing hard, very aggressive. Obviously, you're seeing more of that today.
Not a lot of cars in that middle lane, but they don't appear to be getting shot backwards like we often see when they're 3 wide.
Well, there's a little bit of help.
It's the big spoiler, Mike. There's a lot of runs to be had, no matter what line. You look at Joey Logano fly through here, up through the middle. He's the one making me nervous. He's running in the middle of everybody.
And you also have to have confidence in those cars around you. As you come into the corners, that thing wants to get loose. As you exit the corners, a lot of times you'll get tight in that pocket of air that he's
he's talking about, but there's definitely a pocket. If you use it right, you have the right help behind you, you can go to your advantage.
And no surprise that Joey Logano leading the charge on that middle lane. He's an aggressive super speedway racer.
Now Logano drops to the inside, push, and then number 1 now has the middle.
They're doing some kind of watch party on the NASCAR YouTube channel. They said they've got Greg Biffle and Matt Kenseth.
At the end of this season.
I don't like those clouds either. Really, the clouds you most have to worry about. Look down the back straightaway at turns 3 and 4. If that's clear, then you're probably okay. Over 1 and 2, that's usually not coming at the racetrack, I don't think. Ooh, whoa, we got a big wreck, big one. Almirola, Bowman, DiBenedetto, Truex, Reddick, Jamie McMurray, Anthony Alfredo, William Byron, Kurt Busch, and 14 laps in, a lot of cars are taken out. Ryan Newman's junk, he's done. God damn, why? It's like fucking 14 laps into the race.
One of the front ones up front, so anytime that happens up front, you're going to take out a lot of them. There's Jamie McMurray.
14 laps into the race. Reddick is done. That car's toast.
That is a dozen of destruction.
Almirola's done for the day. Windonet down. Buscher's done. DiBenedetto done. Ryan Blaney is done for the day. Can't tell about Truex. Truex and Byron might be all right. That sucks. Ryan Newman's getting out. Well, 2 of my 3 are gone. Well, one of them's definitely gone. I don't know about Byron. I'd like to get a better look at Byron's car.
Christopher Bell, new to the Joe Gibbs Toyota team in the
Eric Jones is done for the day.
Racing hard here.
What happened?
The 10 and the 20 down on the bottom.
That's why Denny runs in the back all day, guys. Bowman side drafts Almirola, pulls out wide. Big push from Kyle Busch to Bell, and I think that's going to set this wreck off. Yeah. Oh, it was just a bad bump. Just a bad bump. God. Kyle Larson made it through. Priest made it through. Elliott, Logano made it through. Please tell me William Byron didn't get a lot of damage. Well, Byron got hit pretty good in the left rear.
Experience makes him squirrely. When that car hits him, it pushes that car into the steer of the rear end, and it can turn you in a heartbeat.
I hate to say that this damn early in the race.
Lost the lead in the closing yards of this race in 2018.
Poor fucking Alex Bowman just gets completely shit on.
That contact hit, it just turned his car.
That really pisses me off to see Alex Bowman get taken out there.
He took the words right out of my mouth. Unbelievable. Crushing blow to so many teams, so many efforts that it goes into
this early in the damn race.
And being at this Daytona 500.
How hard? Show me Byron again.
We're going to ride with Ryan Newman through this.
Oh, yeah, that fucking left rear is killed on William Byron. They're going to have trouble. If that car's still running, he's going to have trouble getting fuel in it.
With his primary car,
that's his backup car.
I fucking hate that so much.
At least a dozen cars involved. David Reagan.
Well, there goes your David Reagan $100 bet or $50 bet. Just bump drafting gone wrong. Nobody's fault. You can't lift. Bell could not have lifted. Kyle Busch was pushing him, and it was on the straightaway, so it's just an accident. Racing deal. Of course, Joe Logano made it through. Aren't you glad? Suarez looks like he only got turned sideways. I think Suarez is going to be all right. The grass killed half of these damn cars. Blaney's car got completely killed by the grass. Well, there was a big wreck in the early stages of the 2011 500, and we still had fun that day. Kurt Busch was in it. I'll be right back. One moment. Bump drafting gone wrong. I love how Joey Logano is the biggest dipshit in super speedway racing, but he usually makes it through these wrecks. That wreck would have been worth it if Logano was taken out. I'd be like, oh man, what a bad wreck, but at least Logano's out. Nah, he's still running. Damn it, you wasted 50 cents. I know, at my urging, you wasted 50 cents. Of the cars running, I really like Harvick, Austin Dillon, Logano, Bubba, and Hamlin. Those are the cars I like that I know are still left running. Harvick's car looks better than we thought it was. God damn, Busch and Logano made it through. Why? Let's check Twitter. We'll just do it on my computer. You see slutty women? Just ignore it. F in the chat for these late start times. Uh-oh. Lightning has struck in the area. Red flag is out. We have lightning in the area. Red flag is out. We have our first weather delay of the day, 15 laps in. Late start times. Red flag for lightning. Cars on pit road. Should I just go ahead and stop the fucking stream and come back later? Like, if it starts raining, I'm going to stop the fucking stream and we'll just come back when it's time to race again. So, and Chase got through the wreck. That was good. Finally. Good luck on a super speedway that's not Talladega. He's got good Talladega luck. He's got bad Daytona luck. Usually. That's nice. Late start times, guys.
Built Ford proud. And by Credit One Bank, the official credit card of NASCAR. 1981. That is
Yeah. All right. Here, enjoy some rain delay, weather delay coverage. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get a plate of food because it's ready and I'm hungry. And we have nothing to talk about for the next hour.
Well, Mother Nature didn't like that wreck either because a couple of lightning bolts within 3 miles of the racetrack have brought us to a red flag until that moves away. Here is another look. Eric Almirola turned into Alex Bowman, and it's on.
It just doesn't take a whole lot, you know, and especially if that front bumper hits the rear bumper in the wrong spot. And first he got it pretty good. You know, Christopher Bell got his front bumper to the rear bumper of Almirola on the left side. That turned him sideways, but then unfortunately as he moved back and forth, he hit him in the right side and spun him around.
Right with Kurt Busch. That's Tyler Reddick right behind.
Stay low, stay low. Stay low, stay low.
You can see how fast he got to the impact. Didn't take long to get to the crash, does it, Jeff?
No, it doesn't, especially when it happens to one of those guys running second or third. Just absolutely nothing you can do, especially when you're on the back straightaway because you're pretty much blind. All you can see is the car ahead of you, maybe one car ahead of that, so you're listening to your spotter. You see that 20 car of Christopher Bell getting a big push from the 18, his teammate Kyle Busch. Now he's got a good head of steam here. He tries to line up with him. At the last second, though, he actually touched him maybe a little bit off to the right, and that's what got Eric Almirola going sideways.
Look at the 37, Ryan Preece. He missed that by about half an inch.
That's that luck part of the equation we talk about.
I mean, how difficult is this to win? That right there shows you why it's so hard to win the Daytona 500.
Jamie McMurray Murray try and win it for the second time, and our friends at Advent Health put a heart rate monitor on Jamie with his permission. There it is on the left of your screen, coming off turn 2, 138 beats per minute. Here we go.
He's got to run. He had to check out. He's trying to get in the middle, so his heart rate's starting to
All right, at least I have good food.
Worst case scenario, too.
Maybe this delay's not a bad thing after all.
What we all know's happening.
If they lose the track, I'm stopping the stream.
He's in it at that point.
Look at that heart rate.
I'll let Fox be the ones to feel stupid weather delays since they like to wait around so much to have them.
Murray started this race at a heart rate of 100, so that tells you the intensity early on the Daytona 500 for a guy like Jamie McMurray.
You'll see the list of 16 cars involved in the wreck, but let me put this in perspective. 155 was Jamie's max heart rate in that crash. When Neil Armstrong landed on the moon, that was supposed to be computer controlled. There was a glitch. They gave him the controls for the final touchdown. His heart rate spiked.
What the fuck does this have to do with racing?
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Clint Boyer asked him what I was asking. What the fuck do we care?
I'll tell you what was equally as unbelievable as how quickly it moved back down. But I'm going to tell you, that wasn't bad. That was not bad for a heart rate with, what, 15, 16 cars piled up in front of you, 200 mile an hour. I'm going to tell you, he's in pretty good shape, Jeff.
I'm pretty sure my heart rate would have been spiked to the roof if I was landing on the moon. Man.
My heart rate is through the roof because I'm pissed off.
Nowhere to go, no way to avoid it.
A couple of things pissed me off there.
Very lucky, skilled and lucky. A lot of people's luck ran out right there.
A lot of guys did, and you know, Mike, you're just along for the ride. There's nothing that you can do in those situations when they're all stacked on top of one another. And you know, this is why these guys got to be a little more careful of this bump drafting. They do it so casually and get so comfortable with it, Clint, that it just becomes a natural thing. Now, those that didn't get caught up in that,
it's gonna fucking rain.
Unfortunately, it came at a huge cost to 16 cars.
So, Clint, what do you think of Denny Hamlin's decision to drop way to the back there?
These guys are going to run out of stuff to talk about in the next 15 minutes.
Out of my mouth. Exactly what I was going at. That's the reason it's so hard to win three Daytona 500s in a row. It's decisions like that. Hey, it's going to happen early. Let's get out of here. He talked about it in the pre-race show, and he just lived it again. And by the way, he's living to see another lap.
Well, and I think it was by choice that Denny Hamlin decided to go to the back early in this race to play it safe. We'll have to find out if we get a chance to talk to him. But Bubba Wallace, that was not the case. He actually took a bad situation, and that sent him to the back because of fixing the damage on pit road. But ended up being pretty lucky for him in this situation.
But the other thing we talk about is teammates, teamwork, and how they use that for your strategy to set yourself up to the end of this race to be in position.
Safety crew's getting the cars out of the mud because it's rained all damn week.
Both Roush cars, 2 front row cars. That is a huge part of the equation to get yourself in a position to win this race.
Now, we have talked about the skew that is built into these cars and how that may well have been a contributing factor in this crash. Here's Larry Mack.
Yeah, I mean, Mike, you would think that these cars go straight down the straightaway just like your passenger car will on the highway, but they do things with the rear end.
Uh-oh, we're talking to the stupid people when we say stuff like passenger car.
That spoiler is 9 inches tall, so if you can skew that rear end to get that right rear corner out of the air, then obviously it's going to help the drag of the race car. So what Clint talked about, this is what you would do in a Daytona Talladega. You're going to skew it the opposite way. So when Christopher Bell got into him right
I love chicken. Do you love chicken?
It was already turned just a little bit, and it just
My 2 favorite things in life are chicken and early start times for races.
So there
on
is
Sunday afternoons.
Cause here is the effect.
Oof. Big crunch to the front nose. And you know, Eric Almirola, he's prepared for
Good for
this.
Ross Chastain, Bubba, Custer, and all them guys in the back. Have plenty of time to stop.
Knowing that bump is going to come, and then if you're Christopher Bell, you're
Byron almost flipped over.
It just looked to me like one car moved left and the other car moved right at the worst possible time as they made contact.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. As you're looking in the mirror, that spotter's telling you, all right, 3, 2, 1. That's telling you how close he's getting. As soon as he feels that, as soon as you feel that big bump coming, that car's going to do something. It's going to go one way or another. You got to be able to react. Unfortunately, there was nothing he could do. It literally spun out.
In 2018, Almirola was leading the 500 on the
Thank God all the Rick Ware racing cars are still
and
running.
he got Marshall Dillon. Austin won the race, and Almirola was climbing out of his car in a location very similar to where that car comes to rest right now.
And when you're inside the car at those speeds, and
Kyle Busch didn't do anything
it
wrong.
just feels like it takes forever.
Eric Jones just can't drive in a straight line. Or, sorry, Christopher Bale can't drive in a straight line.
Spinning them left, spinning them right. Look at the damage to the rear.
That was just a bad accident.
Ryan Newman there, he must have made heavy contact.
Hopefully they got it out of their system so tomorrow when this fucking race starts again.
You're right, Jeff. I mean, when you're upwards of 200 miles an hour,
we'll see a good race.
It takes a long time to come to a stop from a crash. It takes a long time to wreck like that.
Now, the other factor here is it rained this morning. We've had a lot of rain this weekend.
Watch Blaney's car just get completely killed by the grass. Blaney would have made it through this rain.
You got a wrecked race car, even if you don't hit anything.
Well, these teams are phenomenal.
Look, Blaney should get through that wreck. Blaney should still be fucking running, but no, he touched the grass, so his car's dead.
Maybe didn't have
Fucking
tremendous
stupid.
damage. They are stuck and going to lose multiple laps because
Your race car can't touch the grass or it's dead.
On board with Ryan Newman here. That's the one you can't see. You think you're doing right, you think you have a hole, and then that car comes, hit him in the right rear, and turned him around.
Christopher Bale and Kyle Busch keep that shit up, they'll be demoted to B class.
Goes over to check on Kurt Busch.
This guy not afraid to get a little muddy.
I tell you what he sees as he's stuck. He's going to survive to see another lap here. He's stuck in the mud.
I've seen Kurt Busch win the Daytona 500 with an ugly car before. Kurt Busch will be all right. Just a flesh wound.
Give him a damage report.
That's exactly what he was doing.
Okay. So we're under the red flag. Drivers have climbed from their cars, and under red flag rules, the teams can't
red flag rules
on the cars. They can walk around them and survey the damage and figure out what to do once the red flag is lifted.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this stream is under red flag. So what I'm going to do is we're going to hop off here, take a break, and when it's time for the race to start back up again, I'll be back later. So keep an eye out. Y'all be watching the race coverage like me. I'm going to take a break and enjoy my dinner. Hopefully, I will see you again in an hour or so for the rest of the Daytona 500. That should have started at 1 o'clock. Fuck you, Fox. I'll be back, guys.